Eva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You my mother, you my father, you my friend and companion. You my knowledge, you my wisdom, you my all in all, O Lord of Lords. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are back to our Narada Bhakti Sutra, the Narada's way of divine love. We are in a very important place to study in spiritual life, to have this one-pointed love for God. We need to have God's grace, holy company, first of holy company. And primarily by holy company one can attain the highest in spiritual life. And this book dealing with devotion, the greatest devotion, the supreme love, which is beyond all the duality of our life and all the pains and agonies of our life, that truth can be achieved by holy company, grace of holy company. There are many stories who attain the highest knowledge only by Guru's grace, and this Guru are holy people. And that holy people, we have read that it is not so easy to get, but once you get it, its impact will be tremendous impact. And then also we read that it is only available by labhate tat kripaya eva. That was the last verse we read, that this devotion or this holy company, first of all you need a holy company. But holy company cannot come by your own effort. It needs God's grace. Why? Two things. Even the holy company is there, we cannot recognize the holiness of that person because of our doubts and confusions in the mind, because of our angularities of our own mind. And second point, so God's grace is the only blessings through which you can feel that that confusion in the mind about him, and Shraddha will develop devotion in you, faith, unending faith in the words of the Guru and his mantra and the teachings what he gives. It is that way, it will not come unless God's grace. So many people will be around, but they will not have tremendous that unflinching faith. Faith does not mean that you should have not to reason. Yes, but Swamiji's faith, Vivekananda's faith for Sri Ramakrishna. Huh? So how intense was that? Of course, he is challenging everything. That does not mean that he has no faith, but he wants to get it perfectly in their understanding whether it is true or not. So that reasoning has a place, discernment has a place, but devotion will not. The ordinary devotion is okay. You can go to temple, you can chant some mantras, you can offer some flower, and you can sing some songs. It can be possible. But genuine devotion, love for God. I cannot live without God. Like the fish cannot live without water. Like like a person cannot live without the air, breathing air. So that type of restlessness for God and that genuine attraction for God. God is no more a word. God is a person, object of experience. Does not come without the blessings. What is in?
It's hard for me to hear you. It's hard for me to hear too. It's hard to hear you.
Hear you.
Am I so solo?
I'm okay, but I don't think they can.
Yeah. So I cannot shout more. You have to then give camera microphone.
The microphone.
Yeah, now it's not possible. It is in between. We'll have to manage it. We'll have to shout. Let us do. But this is available only Mahat Kripa Eva, by the blessings of the great soul. And that great soul's blessings by the grace of God. It is a vicious circle, as it were. Blessings of holy people is necessary, but holy people is necessary. Why? To have genuine love for God. And now to have the holy company, holy person, God's grace is necessary. So you are in a vicious circle. Meaning, really it needs what God's grace means. You need a good karma. You have some good karma of the past, or your sincerity is there. You are praying, crying, weeping to God. As people weep, pray, cry for mundane things, they will also have to weep, pray and cry for satsanga, holy company. Oh Lord, please give me holy company. So that I can understand that holiness. So this is why it is said that it is labhyate, that holy company, labhyate upi tat kripaya eva, by Bhagavan's grace of God. Why? Why you are emphasizing so much? Because 41 verse, labhyate tasmin tajjane bhedu abhavat. Because tasmin and tajjana, God and his devoted person, that is the holy person. God and the holy person, they are not two. So, not two. Why? Because you see a holy man, you think of God. In a holy person, you will find that the divine is manifesting. The purity, the love, the grace, the blessings, they are manifesting through them. That's why God is manifesting. Through them means, that's why God and the devotee, like not, we are not, that devotee is not the point. The devotee who is intoxicated in God, whom we are calling holy man, that holy person manifests the expressed idea of God and God's presence. You live with him, you feel what is God like. You look at him, then your love for God generates. You see him, you remember Lord's name. No? That's why it is said, Jahare herile hriday spure Krishna naam, tahare janiyo tumi Vaishnava pradhan. He is greatest among the devotees. Who is that? By watching him, by looking at him, by beholding him, or being in his association, your heart will be repeating the holy name of God. His impact is so deep that it will influence you also. Like if in the musical world, if it is tuned in the same note, no, all are tuned in the same note, you string one place, and it vibrates, the same vibration goes. So holy men, if there is holiness, that means godliness, and that is contagious contagious like that. It impacts the person's heart. So we should be pure also, otherwise we cannot. But wherever you see holiness, even we do not understand, but with due respect and love and our utmost humility, if we go there, then that will influence our life. That will change our life. So that is the point. Think that they are not separate from God. You see a holy man, meaning you have seen God. Swami Shivananda used to say, we didn't see Ramakrishna when people used to come to Mahapurush Maharaj and others. They said, you are seeing us. You have seen him. The Christ said, you have seen me, I, and that means you have seen my Father. That means that holiness is manifesting to that personality. As all the negative things and things manifest in a crooked person, a naughty person, similarly the holiness manifests, and holiness is God. God is holiness. So, that verse says then, there is no difference between God and his devotees. Devotees means this type of devotee, not ordinary devotee, but those who are really so pure that their holiness has entered into them and they become holy. So to have a holy person know that he and God is the same. Ramakrishna was one day listening to a Bhagavat reading. Some Pandit was reading. He saw a ray of light came from the divine, the Krishna, and then it touched the heart of the reader, touched the heart of Ramakrishna and went back. That means it proved. Book. Bhagavat, the book, the reader, or Sri Ramakrishna. Anyhow, Bhakta. Who is the Bhakta? The book, Bhagavat, Bhakta, Bhagavan. Three things. Bhagavat is the text, holy text. Bhakta is Ramakrishna. And Bhagavan is Lord Krishna. So he saw that a ray of light came and linked them together, showing that as is God, so is the holy text. These are holy texts, that's why. We don't keep these books, that's why, near our feet. Normally, in Indian culture, we don't do, we think that it is inauspicious, because holy books are holy. So that's why we put it on the desk, or put something under the book, thinking that we are not touching the ground. Because we walk over that area, so it should not be near the feet. That is Indian tradition. That's why you have probably experienced. Some of our Swamis, when they come from India first, I was also like that. Someone kept a book like this. What is that? And a book is book. But no, for them, it is God's words are there, so they are holy. The Mother Saraswati, they call Mother Saraswati, living Saraswati, the wisdom. But here is a higher level, the Bhagavad, the text, which relates the story of God and the Bhagavan, the God himself, and the Bhakta, that means pure soul, Mahapurush, Sri Ramakrishna, they are all one. So that is from that perspective, this verse is said, there is no difference between God and his devotees. God dwells in all beings in his infinitude. That is to say, one infinite absolute reality Brahman dwells equally on all beings and everywhere. Page 97. 97, verse number 41. So what does it say? True. Why are you saying a very special in holy man? God dwells in all. Yes, God dwells in all. But in holy man, God's characteristics are more developed, more shining. Its manifestation is greater manifestation. Huh? So, sun's reflection is everywhere. Yes, sun's rays of light are falling on everything. But you see, in a glass, it is shining. In a mirror, it is more reflecting. In the mud, it is almost no reflection. The manifestation, degree of manifestation is different. That's why Swamiji said, Vivekananda said, the difference between one person and the other person, man and man, is only in the difference in the manifestation of divinity, purity, love. What is the difference between Vivekananda and Bin Laden? They are big people in the world, people you remember in the history. There are two people. Here is the manifestation of the divinity, power, purity, energy, and compassion, feeling for others, so manifested, almost godlike. And there is manifesting in a negative way, to destroy this, to kill this, to do this. So this is only manifestation. The electricity is all same, but somewhere it is 1,000 bulb, watt bulb, somewhere night lamp. Night lamp also light. Will you compare night lamp is same as that of the 1,000 watt light? So no. So this is the point, that though it is everywhere, but it is a question of manifestation. So we are also devotees. And Ramakrishna was a devotee. Hanuman also devotee of Rama. Same, we are same. Someone will be seeing and talking about his Ishta Devata, their tears are rolling down. So much pure love they have. And we talk about that, we think about that, nothing changes us. So what is that? That's why that is the difference of between person and person, the difference of manifestation. So it says God dwells in all beings in His infinitude. Because God is Satchidananda. And God is everywhere, no doubt, no question. But that is to say, there is only infinite, absolute reality, that is Satchidananda Brahman, dwells equally in all beings and everywhere. There is a saying in Sanskrit, he dwells equally in Brahma, the creator, and in an inanimate object, such as a pillar. God is there in the pillar. God is there in the image. Because He is everywhere. There is no place where there is no God. But in a human being, in a pillar, there is no manifestation. It is there, it will remain there for years and years. But human being moves, talks, expresses feelings, emotions, and among human being again, grades of development. Therefore, but there is a difference in the degree of his manifestation. In human beings, he has a greater manifestation. That's why it is said, therefore it is said, blessed is the human birth. Shankaracharya says that this birth is what a golden opportunity, this human body. Balchen, yeah. It says that Durlabham trayameva etat daivanugraho hetukam manushyatam mumukshatam mahapurusha samasvaya. Three things are very rare in life. Durlabham, it is very rare, very difficult to get a human body like this. Durlabham trayam, three. Out of that first is manushyatam. This means a human body. Human body can think of infinite God. Human body can extend their identity into the cosmic level. The cat body is not ready for that. Not that he never, that soul will be coming to a developed state. There is a less opportunity, less scope for a cat, for a dog, in comparison to a human being. Cat cannot go to a guru to find out, oh guru, give me the mantra. Cat will not have the desire like that. That body is not fit for that. That body is made for experiencing certain type of karma, results of karma. But human body, it's very important in this sect, can be congenial for this higher questioning. You can do practice, spiritual practice. You can break your bondage by will. You can also drown yourself in ignorance. That's your choice. But potentiality is there that you can turn the opposite way, the will, the direction, mentally think of God. So Manushyatam, that's first point, which unless you have a physical body, you cannot, that's why you cannot think of God anyway. How much you may glorify the animals, and we were animals before. We are finished with that experience. And by God's grace, we have come over here. And having in human body, then only we can go to Guru, we can read the book, we can listen to holy words, we can have sadhu sangha, holy association. So it is very rare. Fundamental condition is human body. And then mumukshata, then the desire to be free.
Is it manushyatta means human body or human quality?
Human quality. First human body you get, otherwise human quality will come from where? Human quality, not divine quality in a human body. So, body is necessary. This body needs meditation. Cat can meditate, but who knows, maybe a realized soul may come in the cat body, that's a different thing. But that body is not fit for this type of scope, is less. You come to temple. Cat cannot just come in. Even they come into the temple, you will have to wait for that. But man can go to somebody, to bring somebody to open the door and then come into it and sit here and do meditation prayer like that. You go to a holy man in this place or that place, cat cannot just out of his own will, okay, there is a holy man I heard, let me go. He cannot purchase an air ticket. Someone will have to purchase the air ticket and take him. So it is not fit, it is not congenial. So that's a human body. But getting this human body, Sankara says, having a rare body like this, and then having a guru, having the mantra, one who does not do spiritual practice, he is he is killing himself. He is committing suicidal. Because he is killing the self. We are all killing the self. Killing the self means you destroy your divine nature. So he says, therefore, it is said, blessed is the human body. Because the human body has the opportunity and the power. That's the power is potential in us. If we start practicing, if we take a oath, whatever happens, we can do it. That's the greatness of human personality. But that desire will come or not, that is yours, whether you will make an effort or not, or how you will utilize your human body, that is yours. You get some, say, you got some kind donation from any person, from government. But how you got the money and how you utilize it is yours. Some utilize for purpose, and some also, that is their purpose. Some drink, eat and dance and finish the money. Some can utilize that money for many good causes. So this human body is available, how we utilize it. Amun manav janam রইল পতিত আবাদ করলে ফলতো সোনা মনরে কৃষিকাজ জানো না. Ramakrishna used to sing this song, Ram Prasad song. He used to sing, this human body, precious human body, Roilo Potit. It is a barren land, like a barren land. You could have cultivated it. You could have make use of it. And you could have brought gold out of it. That means much riches you can utilize in this life. You could have attained to the highest glory of God realization, manifesting the divinity in the highest. But it remained uncultivated, barren. So, but because a human being has opportunity and the power to realize and reach union with Him, but of all human beings, God's most perfect manifestation is in His devotees. Who are the devotees? Who have known Him, who have talked with Him, and who have become one with Him. Not ordinary devotee like that. Who is a devotee? He is a devotee who has a relationship set with God, that he has, who have known Him. God is not a talk. God is not some conception. He know God. Know God means first intellectual knowledge maybe, and then more intently he has felt the touch of God's love by in deep meditation, in deep prayers. They get a touch of the feeling of joy. And who have much better is who have talked with God, means had vision, and like Ramakrishna used to talk with Mother Kali all the time. That's the highest devotee. And then highest is one, not only talking. He has got so absorbed, he is absorbed in samadhi with God. So different levels of connection of the devotees. So this type of devotee we are talking about. Holy company means this type of people we are talking about. After having become one with Him, the devotee remains a lover of God. After once you have reached this type of intense connection with God, and you have become tuned to God, then after having become one with Him, the devotee then remains. How he will remain? As we read in the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, or in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, how a devotee lives in the same way. He will be equal to happiness and unhappiness, misery and suffering. He will not be affected by the duality in the world. So in the remaining in the God consciousness, that should be. So devotee remains as lovers of God. They are enchantingly beloved Lord. How? They become one with them. The devotees remain as lovers of God, and they are enchantingly beloved Lord. God is not partial to anybody. God is not choosy. I love Him more or Him less. No, not like that. God loves everyone equally. God has not, that means partiality. He has no partiality. He loves us all, but He considers His devotees as His very own. God feels close to whom? Who loves Him, who can recognize Him. You are free with Him, with whom? Who recognizes you, who understands you. If a person does not understand you, you cannot be close to that person. Similarly, the devotee is very close to God. God is also very close to the devotee. The devotees alone know and experience the overwhelming love of God. Only the overwhelming love of God is experienced by the devotees only. That's why a devotee can see God's grace in every moment of life. Even in suffering, he finds God's grace. in joy, he finds God's grace. He finds every opportunity as if everything is reminding him something else. God's presence in everything. That's why that type of devotee we are talking about. And if we get such association with such type of people, then our life will be transformed. And they think that holy man is not ordinary. He is almost equal to God, because God and this devotee are one. One in the sense, not that this man can create like God. That is not the point. But what is that? He is, the devotee will be having the divine qualities of love, compassion, intoxication, absorption, always in the blessed mood of joyful mood. Those will be the common thing for him. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord speaks to sage Durvasa. Bhagavat, Bhagavat is always we refer, this Bhakti school will always refer Bhagavat. Bhagavat is the book where all Krishna stories are there. There, Sri Krishna is talking to Durvasa, one sage. He says, page 98, I love my devotees, and I am a willing slave in my love. How can it be otherwise? Since these devotees of mine willingly sacrifice everything for my sake. They have surrendered themselves completely unto me. So, Gita also says, those who take refuge in me, I take care of them. I take care of their needs. Yogak semang maham maham. Those who take refuge in me, I take care of their needs, physical needs even. What the question of spiritual needs? Physical needs and yoga and kshema. What they have, I try to protect that. What they need, I want to supply that. Even physical. What the question? Because they think of day and night of me. You think of God, God will take care of the other side. But when we think of our needs, God says, oh, he is managing himself. He does not need my help. That's why who can surrender totally? Who says, I am nobody? Mother looks after the baby. But mother does not look after the adult. When the baby becomes adult, Ma says, okay, you are now adult, take care of yourself. But what she used to do when the baby is born or the early years of the baby, mother takes care of everything. That is the point. Who can surrender like a baby for everything, then God takes care. What the baby needs, what he has and what he needs. So that is the point that Sri Krishna said there to the sage Durvasa, that I love my devotees and I am willing slave in my love. How can it be otherwise? Because these devotees of mine willingly they sacrifice everything for my sake. They have surrendered themselves completely unto me. Because they have surrendered it to me, so I will have to take care. But in that story is there, one man was, Ramakrishna said that story. One person was going totally overwhelmed, thinking about the Lord, and he was chanting the name of God, and he didn't notice that there were washed clothes by the washerman. They in India, they spread the cloth on the grass to dry quickly. And he was walking, he didn't notice, in dirty feet, he trampled over them. And naturally the freshly washed clothing are getting dirty. The washerman got mad, and he tried to beat him. And as he was going, she immediately turned back and took a stone to throw back to the washerman. The Lord, the story goes, the Lord was in the heaven, and suddenly with Narayan, Lord Narayana was with Mother Lakshmi, and Mother Lakshmi was serving him, and suddenly Mother Lakshmi saw Narayana jumped out of the bed and ran. And then quickly, within few minutes, he came back. Then he said, "What happened? Why did you go without even telling anything? You had to go so fast." Well, you do not know. There was one devotee who was totally intoxicated. He has no consciousness of his body. He didn't notice. He wrongly trampled over the clothing of the washerman. And the washerman got mad and he wanted to beat him. So I ran to protect him. But then why did you come back? Well, I came back because I saw, I was moving, and by that time he got into awareness, he saw everything, and he started to hit back. So he has taken care of himself. So I don't need anymore. This is a great story. In every situation of our life, when we think that I will solve the problem, I will do my own, then God will say, yes, you are enough, take care of yourself. When you say, "Oh Lord, you have given your power to me, with this power I have done this part, but please, everything is yours, please do that." So when you surrender, then He surrenders, He takes care. Achha, yes.
So, when the person is surrendering to God, shall the person just wait and let things flow and then fix themselves?
If it's surrender, no. Surrender means, as I said, surrender means also you do, God has given you certain power. Every one of us have been endowed with little intelligence, little strength of mind, so physical strength. So God gave us those. We have to use diligently to solve any problem. And then say, "Oh Lord, it is by your power what you have given. I did this part. But the rest of the thing I do not know what to do. It is all your problem. Your problem. You please solve. I do not know. I let me think of you." But we cannot do that. When the problem is there, I will have to solve it myself. But you should not give it to God. Some people will say it is foolishness. You have to do, take action. Go ahead. Okay, take action, do things. But you have to think, after internally you are taking action by surrendering to God and telling Him, "Oh Lord, this is my limit. With my understanding, what I thought, what you gave me, by your grace I did this part. But still the problem remains the same. So please do something. I cannot. Let me think of you. You take care." Like the man who was intoxicated in the name of God and walking, didn't notice even what he did, right or wrong. It was wrong deed. It should not be done by anyone, unnecessarily to trample over some washed clothing which the washerman is working hard to do that and sell it and then get the money for his living. But he didn't do it. Inadvertently he did. But the question is that we have no reliance that when he is trying to beat me, I could have called upon God more and more mentally. If you are in a higher level of mood, then it's possible. Not for our type of mood, immediate reaction. That's your failure. Then God does not come. And that's why the problem remains the same. It never gets solved. But if one can really surrender there, totally, then God will take care, and then solution will come miraculously, even you do not know how it happened. In many places we hear such stories, when you give it to God totally, and you think of God only, doing your best. First, one step, you do your best, and then try to call upon God. Sincerely, and give it to God only, and don't think of the problem. I am thinking of you, you take care of the problem. That is the devotee's attitude. Now he is giving another example on page 98. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, quote, Bhagavat, Bhakta and Bhagavan. The scriptures, the devotees and the Lord are one and the same. Oh, the story I told you. Once he had a vision. Who had a vision? Ramakrishna had a vision. A ray of light emanating from the image of Lord Krishna touched him. And the scripture, that means Bhagavat, the book, what was being read, holy book, holy text, showing him that these three are one and the same. So, that means Bhakta, don't ignore Bhakta. Don't ignore a holy man. Because their association, their blessings will give us a great boosting in spiritual life because they are one with God. In the Mundaka Upanishad we read, but the sage, quote, the sage knows Brahman, the support of all, the pure effulgent being in whom is contained the universe. They who worship the sage and do so without thought of self cross the boundary of birth and death. Upanishad says that he is a sage who knows Brahman. What is Brahman? Which is the support of everything, which is the pure effulgent being, in whom is contained the universe. The whole universe is on Brahman. They who worship the sage, that sage who knows Brahman. That means here holy man does not mean any person who are practicing spirituality. But here it means a knower of truth. He is the holy man. That's why that type of people who knows that whole universe is based on the consciousness, ocean of consciousness. It has come out of consciousness. It is staying on the consciousness. Experience that knowledge, that is the holy person. They who worship that sage, and do so without thought of the self. They don't think, of their little self. They think of the holy man. That's why we say, that's why in our scripture it says that Guru and God is the same. The boundary of birth, they cross the boundary of birth and death. That's a quotation from the Upanishad. The Upanishad says, those who can love that type of people without any self, that means without any ego. Self means here without ego. They will be able to cross the bond of birth and death. The devotees are a class by themselves, belonging to no particular caste, or race, or nationality, or sect, or any particular religion. So you look at the Saint Francis of Assisi, you see the Saint Teresa of Avila. If you go to them, you see the same life pattern. They are intoxicated in God, they are totally absorbed in God, no? So, and they, whether suffering comes or joy comes, they are not concerned about that. They are fully absorbed in God. And those people who went to them, see their change of life, character changed. They are neither Hindus, these holy people, you cannot categorize. Oh, they are Hindu people. And so that, holy man is holy man of any religion, any spiritual tradition. So they are neither Hindus, they are nor Christians, nor they are Muslims, nor Jews. They are just men and women of God. That's why we call men of God, women of God. That's why when a holy man comes, you see all flock around. When Dalai Lama comes, people, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, they don't have any difference. Jews, when they listen to his message, they get charmed, no? Say some rabbi who are accomplished rabbis, who have absorbed themselves in God consciousness, no? So they will be the same people, all types of people will go. When Ammachi comes, how many hundreds of people rush from every culture or every tradition. That means they are rising above the barriers of caste and religion. You cannot make them a category, oh, he's a Hindu monk, he's a Christian monk. Monk is monk. A holy man is holy man. So, and holy man, they have defined what is the holy man and try to seek that type of company of those holy men. Therefore, to receive grace from any of God's devotees is the same as having grace of God. So, he has analyzed very well. So, how a holy man is equal to God, that because of he is equal to God, we should go to that holy company. And holy company, this connection does not come in life unless God's grace is there to support you. Many people go to a very holy man in their own life. Some people say, oh, I had a good friend. A friend used to go to Vedanta. And somebody said, hey, I was not interested in it. But one day I said, hey, what is going on? Oh, I am going to this Vedanta temple. And there is Prabhu Ananda Swami P was here. And then he said, oh, what do you go for? Oh, the spiritual talk, you will like it. Why not come? Huh? He had the conversation. Many people may have the conversation. He felt, okay, I'll go, let me see. At least he connected. And then the first day that person came and listened to it and saw the holy man, his life was transformed. He started coming and coming. He became a great devotee. And his life has been transformed. Many people, they even have been so advanced, at that point of death, they had that vision of Ishta Devata. So, holy company can do that. But it is his good fortune. This friend, not knowingly discussing something, got the connection that there is a holy man, you can come also. He didn't know that before. And he was not also very much inclined. But it resonated to his heart when he came and saw. It is the impact of the holy man as also the sincerity of the inner urge of that man, which was not manifested, but it was there. And that connection and changed the life. Many people served some holy people, and then they got the full knowledge of whatever. Even in our mott we have seen, Belur mott we have seen, some Brahmananda served Swami Brahmananda, Swami Prem Mahapurush Maharaj, Shivananda, like those people. And we see that how their life is transformed and they become an inspiration for others. So, tasmin tajjane bhedo abhavat, because there is no difference between tasmin, that God, and his tajjana, his devotee, who is a holy person. No difference, because holiness manifests, God manifests to the personality of that holy man. Holy man is holy. Why you call holy? Because holiness manifests to them. So, and that holiness manifests, and he has the capability to catch that holiness. Going to the same people, many people will have different reactions. See Ramakrishna in the Dakshineshwar. How many Calcutta people came, and Ramakrishna was tired sometime. Oh my God, these are all have no metal in them. No metal. They are like, Ramakrishna used to give the example, they are like the wood, freshly cut wood with sap, much sap. And you put into the fire, Ramakrishna's fire of knowledge and devotion, you put it, it tries to burn the fire itself. And water oozes out from them. That means worldliness oozes out of them. That's why he was crying for holy, this good people who will understand him. That's why he used to cry, calm, calm, calm. I cannot bear with this. I cannot live with these worldly people. So, holy people, they also came. They have to see the holy people. They come, some people come to see the holiness like you go to a zoo to see some animal. Oh, what is Paramahamsa? In newspaper they used to say Paramahamsa Ramakrishna in those days. So many Calcutta people used to, oh, there is a Paramahamsa in Dakshineshwar. Let us go and see. They thought that there will be some horn will grow or some special vibhuti will be coming out. They come and saw a man like us and now singing, now dancing, now going to Samadhi, making a fake show. And he does not, oh, he is entering into the evening time, into what Brahma Samaj, and he is asking, is it evening? Is it daytime or evening? And other general audience, they say, see the fake attitude. He does not know what is this time, it is evening, he does not understand. But others, he can understand, oh, he is intoxicated in God. So even he could not understand what is the day or night difference. So those are the qualities necessary, but this holy man manifests that. Therefore, conclusion is what? 42. Therefore, tad eva saddhatam, tadeva saddhatam. That is the advice of Rishi Narada. Narada says, verse number 42, that therefore, you are to crave for that holy company. You say, oh Lord, please bring in my life some holy association, holy company. Not going to a person and talking about all types of things is holy company. Many people think you go to a man who is, say, go to a monk or go to a holy man, you think, and just go chit-chat all this time, all politics and this and that. That is holy company. No. Holy company is also to go and get advantage what he can give us. You can go to a person who, suppose a scientist, you go to the scientist. You can get the science knowledge, what he is rich in his science, no? And talking with him about other mundane things, you don't know what you are losing. You could get the spiritual wisdom treasure. That's why it's called the poking the honeycomb. Those get benefit. To go. That's why there is a tradition. Going to a holy man, you have to say, question him. Tat viddhi pranipatena pariprasnena shevaya. 3 things are necessary to going to a holy man. First you question, why you have come to holy man? Not for mundane things. Your spiritual question, spiritual quest, life.
Is it okay to ask the same question from 5 police?
No, it is not to show the people. It is should be questions should be from your heart. Really, that's why it is said not put question written here and there. Or I am to put some question I am putting. That you sometimes find. That I am to put some question, they are putting the same question. But it is your question means what? Genuine question is what? Really I am practicing this. This is the problem I am facing. Here is my question that really how this duality can be meeting with the non-dual truth. Really, if what you feel. That's why even Ramakrishna didn't like it, or our Swami, who one of the Swami said, someone is saying some question, and he said, no, he wants to mean this. Well, no, you need not have to say what he means. Your question is not his question. So let him put his question. The question means really you feel to know. That is the question. So some people mistake. Of course, this is a tradition. You don't go to a holy man and don't ask question and sit there dumb. No. That way even we used to go to a holy man in Himalayas and say, Mahatman, holy man, Mahatman, kuch to bataiye. Please teach us something. Tell us something about God. something about divinity, something about purity. That is not a specific question, but at least general question. Mane, please tell us some spiritual discussion so that my mind can get lifted. No? So you have to do that, and if you can go and ask him. That's why Turiyananda Swami got mad. Kaisa hai, kaisa hai, kaisa hai. Are, I am try to forget this body, and you are reminding, how are you? How is your body today? Did you have a sleep? Are, you come to ask me, a spiritual person, whether I have sleep or not. You ask what you want to get it. That's why spiritual question. Therefore, it is tade seek, therefore, the mercy of a great soul. Seek, therefore, a mercy of a great soul. Put your question, pranipatena, and prasna. First salute. Be humble. Why he will teach you his wisdom? He is not bound to do that unless you really, genuinely want with humility. It is not a business that I go to a shopping mall and pay $20 and get $20 material. It is His grace. So first question is that you salute or with due humility. One point. Pranipatan. Pariprashna. Then question about what is the burning question of your heart. And then try to please him, whether he will be happy and spontaneously giving his knowledge and wisdom to you. Now we have Google. Therefore all questions can be, just to type it here and you get it everything. But just during our lifetime this change has come. You just think, when we are children, everything you have to go to a teacher. The teacher knows the knowledge. You have to read the book. He has written so many books. He knows much more than us. And he can give us wisdom. So go to a person and then ask that. What is that question?
Does God see different religions? Does God see and think of different religions?
God see what?
Different religions.
Different religions?
Yeah.
God is God, only God. Different religions are different path. So what is the question? Does God, what is the question?
Does God think? Does he see different religions?
Oh, does he see different religions? Does God see different religions, or see one religion?
Oh, what God sees. It is we see religions are different. But God knows they are all my children. They are calling me in different language.
Different languages.
One language is Hebrew language, another language is Sanskrit language. But God knows they are calling me. Some may be in Bengali, some may be in Hindi, some may be in English, some may be in French. But they are all calling me. So differently, Hindu religion, Christian religion, this religion, that religion, they are calling me. For God, this question does not come. So, therefore, the last 42, we end here, that seek therefore, all this discussion means you seek for holy company. Great soul, their company. As already indicated, if a man has longing for God and yearns for his love, he finds a guru who can lead him in the spiritual path and show him the way to divine love. So what is most important for an aspirant is to create a longing for God through discrimination. So we have to, our duty to analyze and crave for God, pray to have holy company. As Shankara points out, even though this longing for liberation may be present in the slight or moderate degree, it will grow intense through the grace of the teacher, Guru Kripa, and through the practice of renunciation and of virtues such as tranquility, etc., and it will bear its fruit. Though our devotion may not be so intense, but what we have, if we are sincere, Shankara says, even though this longing for God, this searching for God, this going towards his experiencing God is not full, we have not that power, but present in a slight form or in a moderate degree, it will grow intense through the grace of the teacher. Guru's grace, It will grow, and through the practice of renunciation, Guru's grace, and our side will be, we should know to detach, how to detach, renunciation. And virtues of tranquility, how to keep our mind peaceful, quiet, tranquil, and it will bear its fruit. So its result will come in our life. So, holy company is wonderful. Holy company is the need for spiritual growth. Therefore, you try to have holy company and crave for it, pray for it, and your though in intensity may be in degree vary more or less, but you try your best and God's grace will come and that will fulfill the rest. Therefore, devotion, utmost devotion, the great devotion, that will be manifested slowly by God's grace. So this is where here we end. We find that there are some, no question probably. Is there any question?
Yeah.
Quickly give, quickly. So we end here. Then we'll read from verse number, remember, remind me, we'll read verse number 43. 43. We have read up to 42 today. চলে গেল যে It is true that we can find a holy man by doing good karma. But is it not also true that good karma is possible only by grace of God? Is there really anything of free will in context of karma? Is there only God's grace? That means his question is that what is, we can do all God's grace, no? If we understand everything is God's grace, then we have reached the goal. But I have my ego. I know I will be here, I may not be here. I know I will go to meditate, no, I will go to walk. I know that I will talk to this person and not read this book. So these are the power already God has given us. So it is that part where I can kartum annatha kartum ba. Shankara says, kartum akartum ba annatha kartum ba. Human personality has been given with a power that you can do this. If you wish, you can not do that, or you can do it the other way. So these are the three options, and people choose according to their preference of the sattvika nature, rajasika nature, or tamasika nature. So, yes, here is little freedom God has already given us. Ramakrishna's example we should not forget. The cow, grazing the cows, the cowboys take them and sometimes put them in a peg with a rope tied into the cow's neck. Cows can graze up to this length. But there is so much grass. He can eat here, he can eat there, he can eat that side. Yes, we are like that. I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. Yes, within our range, we have that. But unless you finish that you are to given that power, you have to exhaust that. That cow must have to eat the grass, all the grass, within the range he is given. When it is done, you see how the cowherd boys do. They lift the peg and took the cow to another place and peg it where there is more grass. Or extend the rope, Ramakrishna said. His grace is extend. So we'll be sincere. We cannot say everything is God's doing and I will remain idle. Idle sitting. Suppose I don't try for meditation. I say, God will do someday, then my meditation will happen. You got your mantra. I will not go to Guru to take mantra. Okay. Or effort, make an effort. And when God will, in proper time, you are doing that for your eating. You go for eating means you go to a shop, it is not there, you prepare your meal. You will go to sleep. Do you think that God's will, then I will sleep, I won't go to bed today, let me be wake up all night? You make an effort, you go to bed and sleep. So we will have to do our part, and God will do His part. And extension of our capacity will be in God's hand. So we have no free will in that sense. We cannot do anything. But within this range, there is little limit God has given. Every one of us have been given a little rope in which range we can do this or we can do that. Options may be there. People can utilize it in a proper way, or people can go it in another way. Do we enter this life with an inclination to the path of karma, jnana, bhakti, etc., or do we have control over the path we follow? Yes, normally we come with some inclination in ourselves. As we see, you will find that someone is very comfortable to sit like meditation. There is one brahmachari here, he used to find any time you find him, he is sitting for meditation. No? Some of the person will be like more of the doing service, work. Some may be very much inclined like that of studying the scriptures and text, intellectual work. So it is a clean inclination, we come with an inclination. But because of the past we come. But we can change our habit. That's why practice is important. I don't like to meditate. I don't find joy in meditation. Okay, but it is necessary. My Guru has said, I will do it, and I will do it, and I will do it. And then doing that sincerely, by God's grace, a taste for meditation will come. Then we can do that. So we can change our taste also. Our inclination can be changed. But in our spiritual path, we don't need to change your inclination. Rather, you can mature in your inclination itself. You are doing karma, you do it karma yoga. You are trying to meditate on breathing, breath exercise, and some call the vipassana, these, that, many exercises are there, all meditation. But I'll think of God only. That's also meditation. So how we can really turn our all natural inclination towards God, that will make it pure, and that will give us liberation. We need not have to think that I will have to be a bhakta. If I am not a jnani, I will have to be a jnani. No. Your inclination is devotion. You can take that inclination and connect with God and make it bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, union, connecting with the Lord and having that experience. If that experience, that practice, we can do according to our... yes, we are born with our inclination, but we have the freedom to change our idea. Some people come with bhakti inclination. Our sadhus I have seen, they give them high dose of Vedanta. So that bhakti is there already, inclination. Jnana is added, it will blend well, very well. Jnana bhakti mixed, a good meal for spiritual life. Or one is very much emotional, to stop that emotion, too much emotion, by rationality. So they punch like that. Or only a path of jnani, not jnani, but intellectual person, only talking. They put them, Swami Shivananda. Swami Shivananda Maharaj, Swami Shraddhananda Maharaj, who was the head of our Sacramento Center, Swami Shivananda's disciple. So when he joined, and he went to Mahapurush Maharaj, Shivananda Maharaj, and saluted. And as soon as he saluted, he said, my child, what are you doing? He was in another educational institution, Belgorия. He said, "Oh, Maharaj, I am reading Chandogya Upanishad." Then he was not happy. What Chandogya? Read our life. Love us. Do. Go to temple now and pray. Oh Lord, please give me love, give me devotion. Huh? Reading. Yes. Mahapurush Maharaj saw probably he has the intellectual level of understanding very good, but he is helping him to guide to the devotion. So that's why we find Swami Shraddhananda, such a great soul, who was to call the sage of Sacramento. He was later on, everyone used to say, he's the sage, saint of Sacramento. So how he built up? He has his deep study characteristic, capability, and he was reading good scripture, Vedanta scripture. But no, you have to think, what is that? You have to punch, go to God and surrender and say, "Oh Lord, you are everything. Please give me love, give me devotion." So we can change our inclination also. Thank you. Okay? So we end here now. So we have the class again at 7:30 for the concluding another class, maybe two or three classes on Nectar of Supreme Knowledge at 7:30. Okay? Today is Swami Sharadananda's birthday. So after the evening prayer, there will be a reading by Swami Satyamayananda, a brief life of Swami Sharadananda. You can listen to the YouTube here. So now will be the evening prayer at 6 o'clock, and then immediately followed by that will be the Sharadananda Swami's life, reading of Sharadananda Swami's life, and then at 7:30 will be the Nectar of Supreme Knowledge class. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.